What's up, y'all? Leaving the gym, headed home. Shit, I gotta really clean this bag. Spilled fucking protein on it. Fuck. All right. All right. So, move with intention. I always tell my clients that fitness is an allegory for life, right? I say it all the time. Fitness is an allegory for life. What do I mean by that? Fitness is one of those things in life where if you apply it in other areas, if you're successful in the gym, the approach that you take in the gym, if you apply it to other areas of your life. What up, Anthony? Shout out to Anthony Pickett. It's good to see you. If you take the same approach, if you're one of those guys that's just like, you're after it, and you apply those same principles in your life outside the gym, the chances that you're going to be successful in what you're doing is going to be very high, because the things that work in physical fitness work in most areas of life. If you think, there are very few losers with great physiques, if you think about it. Like, really think about it, right? There are not that many guys that are really, really physically strong or have a top 5%, top 5% as far as compared to, or including the general population. It takes a lot of discipline to body build, strength train, power build, and everything in between. It takes a lot of discipline, and you see that these guys tend to be successful in other areas because they apply that discipline. It's transferable. I had a session this morning with a client. He's recovering from the Rona. He doesn't know he's recovering. He's like, I didn't have any symptoms. It's all right. But I know better than that. I said, listen, you were basically quarantined for 10 days. This is before the CDC's bullshit. In fact, he finished his 10-day quarantine, and then like 2 days later, the CDC was like, well, corporate profits are going down, so we're going to cut the isolation time down to 5 days. Anyway, he did the entire 10-day stretch, and you can tell that he wasn't, not the same. He doesn't know he's not the same, but I know he's not the same. And I gave him some limited work to do last week. We ramped it up a little bit, but working sub max. And I said, listen, we're working sub max today, right? But here's the approach that we want to have. We don't just want to perform the repetitions, right? We want to perform the repetitions with a specific goal. We want to make sure that every rep, is, I want to make sure the next street is not blocked up. We want to make sure that every rep has a focus. Because we are working sub-max today, right? We are working sub-max today. However, that doesn't mean we can't make progress. We need to have a specific goal in mind. Every single time you complete one of the 3 phases of a rep, you should be trying to do something with that. If you're in the eccentric phase, you should have a specific thing that you want to accomplish with it. When you hit the isometric, you want to have a reason for it. You want to have a plan of action. And when you hit that concentric, because we're talking squats here, you hit that concentric, you want to have a rhyme and a reason for why you are doing what you're doing. Oh man, they blocked off the street. Oh well, guess I have to go. You want to have a rhyme and a reason for what you're doing. And it was one of the best performances I've seen from him. One of the best performances I've seen from him. Why? Because he had a plan of action. Normally, he's trying to get through the set. He's trying to survive. But it's a whole different thing when you say, hey, I'm performing a task, yes, but I have very specific motivations for completing this task. I have very specific motivations for completing every part of this task because there is something I am trying to accomplish. And that mental approach, it works wonders. Because you're not shutting your brain off and going into survival mode. Because when that happens, your movement patterns are going to suck. You're not going to be able to perform safe, repeatable motions because you're basically just mimicking the motion. You don't have a rhyme or reason for doing what you're doing. There's no purpose. But if you say, hey, man, I got this bar on my back, I want to make sure my hamstrings are controlling the eccentric, not just the quads, but my hamstrings are powering the eccentric. I'm not just falling to the bottom of my squat. I want to make sure that my abs are doing their job. I want to sit real deep in this squat. I want to feel real comfortable. I don't just want to perform this rep. I want to perform this rep. And when you get into that mindset, you're not thinking about how tired you are. You're not thinking about whether or not you're going to get this rep. You're thinking about what you're going to do with this rep because it's not a question. It changes the way that you mentally approach every part of every set. And when you have a specific goal in mind, you don't have the neurological, oh, that's right, I don't have to turn here. You don't have the neurological fear that normally accompanies a lot of the sets that you see people doing. You see a lot of people shaking. You see their eyes are all bugged out. They don't have a rhyme or a reason. They're just trying to get through it. And I always say that fitness is an allegory for life. And I'm dead fucking serious. When you go through your life with a plan, I want to accomplish this, and I'm going to accomplish this goal with this process. And if you go back, I think to like the seventh installment of the Talking Shit podcast, when I was asking, are you goal or process oriented, right? Having goals is great, but focusing on the process is what is going to see you through. You have to have a methodology. You have to have an ideology. I'm going to accomplish this for these reasons, and I'm going to do it this way. And when you have a system, that success is repeatable. And that's what we're looking for, repeatable success. So there are normally certain physical, or I wouldn't say it's physical, there are certain mechanical deficiencies that I would normally see at the resistance level that that we worked at today. But he was absolutely flawless on 4 of his 5 sets. And I would probably say that he was very good on the other one. On his very last rep of his last set, where most people are gassing out, he put a little bit of extra mustard, a little bit of that Grey Poupon on that last rep. And what he was trying to show me something, but what he doesn't understand is that his improvement in his performance, you know, it really had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with what he proved to himself by taking his focus off of survival and just getting the reps done. He had a plan, he had a rhyme, and he had a reason. And I've never seen him so confident. Never seen him so. And he's a confident guy. But it was a real pleasure to watch him work, to watch him move. And the thing is, I encourage my clients. I encourage them all. Oh, got this weird ass truck over here. Let me get away from you. I encourage my clients to watch how other gym members move. I encourage them to watch how other trainers train their clients. I encourage them to watch how other clients interact with their trainers. And what you'll find is you can always tell the difference between a good and a great trainer, right? A good trainer gets their clients to show up. A great trainer gets their clients to buy in and adhere and execute as intended as quickly as possible. And I felt this pride. I felt this tremendous pride because I was able to get a client out of the survival mentality and get him into a thriving mentality. Very, very happy with that. You know, there are very few things in this world that I enjoy more than helping somebody achieve a higher level on the mental plane. You know, the physical stuff is cool. You know, helping people hit new personal bests with a barbell or a dumbbell, a kettlebell. You know, those things are cool. But, you know, helping to give people life lessons that they don't necessarily know that they're learning. So I want you to kind of take that with you. You know, whatever it is that you want to accomplish in this world, you know, figure out what the goal is going to be, but then very quickly pivot and focus on, well, how am I going to find my success? How am I going to realize it? How am I going to execute the success? And how can I make it a repeatable? How can I make my recipe for success? How can I make that repeatable? Yeah. And the way you're going to do it is by focusing on the process and celebrating the victory of every properly performed part of the process. Stay consistent. Stay out of the survival mode. Stay out of that fear, lack, scarcity. Always have a rhyme and a reason for what you do. All right. I'll probably see you guys a little bit later. Probably some gaming stuff, but I hope that these reaches the people that need to hear this. I hope this gives you guys a little bit more confidence. I hope to see you very, very soon. Peace.